Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind it, it doesn't matter. Wrinkles should merely indicate where smiles have been. Life would be infinitely happier if we could only be born at the age of 80 and gradually approach 18. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. When angry, count to 4. When very angry, swear. The best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up. If it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. And if it's your job to eat 2 frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first. We have the best government that money can buy. Honesty is the best policy when there is money in it. It is not best that we should all think alike. It is a difference of opinion that makes horse races. Prosperity is the best protector of principle. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect. It usually takes me more than 3 weeks to prepare a good impromptu speech. Prophecy is a good line of business, but it is full of risks. A man's character may be learned from the adjectives which he habitually uses in conversation. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. It is curious that physical courage should be so common in the world, and moral courage so rare. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. I didn't attend the funeral, but I sent a nice letter saying I approved of it. In the first place, God made idiots. That was for practice. Then he made school boards. Don't let schooling interfere with your education. I've never let my school interfere with my education. Cauliflower is nothing but cabbage with a college education. Education consists mainly of what we have learned. Soap and education are not as sudden as massacre, but they are more deadly in the long run. Do the thing you fear most, and the death of fear is certain. Forgiveness is the fragrance that a violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. Go to heaven for the climate, hell for the company. Get your facts first, then you can distort them as you please. All generalizations are false, including this one. By trying, we can easily endure adversity. Another man's, I mean. Only one thing is impossible for God: to find any sense in any copyright law on the planet. It is by the goodness of God that in our country we have those 3 unspeakably precious things: freedom of speech, freedom of conscience, and the prudence never to practice either of them. Man was made at the end of the week's work when God was tired. Man, a creature made at the end of the week's work when God was tired. I can live for 2 months on a good compliment. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. This is the ideal life. It's good sportsmanship to not pick up lost golf balls while they are still rolling. Golf is a good walk spoiled. Thunder is good, thunder is impressive, but it is lightning that does the work. Good breathing consists in concealing how much we think of ourselves and how little we think of the other person. The man who does not read good books has no advantage over the man who cannot read them. Few things are harder to put up with than the annoyings of a good example. There are several good protections against temptation, but the surest is cowardice. To be good is noble, but to show others how to be good is nobler and no trouble. What a good thing Adam had. When he said the good thing, he knew nobody had said it before. Patriotism is supporting your country all the time, and your government when it deserves it. Loyalty to the country always, loyalty to the government when it deserves it. Laws control the lesser man. Right conduct controls the greater one. My mother had a great deal of trouble with me, but I think she enjoyed it. I am an old man and I have known a great many troubles, but most of them never happened. My books are like water. Those of the great geniuses are wine. Fortunately, everybody drinks water. There are people who can do all fine and heroic things, but one keep from telling their happiness to the unhappy. The very ink with which history is written is merely fluid prejudice. Lord, save us all from a hope tree that has lost the faculty of putting out blossoms. Humor is mankind's greatest blessing. Everything human is pathetic. The secret source of humor itself is not joy but sorrow. There is no humor in heaven. The secret source of humor is not joy, but sorrow. There is no humor in heaven. Humor must not professedly teach, and it must not professedly preach, but it must do both if it will live forever. You can depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. Don't go around saying the world owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. It was here first. When we remember we are all mad, the mysteries disappear. A life stands explained. To succeed in life, you need 2 things, ignorance and confidence. What a wee little part of a person's life are his acts and his words. His real life is led in his head and is known to none but himself. Part of the secret of a success in life is to eat what you like and let the food fight it out inside. When you fish for love, bait with your heart, not your brain. Wit is the sudden marriage of ideas, which before their union were not perceived to have any relation. The Christian's Bible is a drugstore. Its contents remain the same, but the medical practice changes.